everybody? This is Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Perry.
Hey, Justin. Was that an earthquake?
Not
Or,
that I'm
oh,
aware
you must have just rocked my world.
of. Nice,
We do
nice.
live in a very seismically active area,
That's true. I
Justin.
mean,
So
not it's no California, but yeah, we're definitely
we're up there.
yeah, we're up there. We
That's
just get
funny because we're north of California, too. Yeah. And that is the peak of comedy you'll get
yeah.
at 8 o'clock
Stay
in the morning
tuned. You'll get
on a
more
Sunday.
comedy very
Right.
similar to that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Also, I'm sorry.
Look out, Dane Cook.
2003.
Yeah. Good morning, dude.
Yeah. Good morning, man.
You
Uh,
got your coffee?
Yeah, and you actually had a very interesting night I heard about. You were
Mm-hmm.
telling me before we
Yeah.
started. Why don't you tell everyone how you spent your night, Perry?
Yeah. So, there's some people that are cool and there are some people that aren't.
And there's some
And
people who are beyond cool.
then there's me. So as my wife was playing a role-playing game on the phone with her friends where she is like a dwarf and trying to get something, I don't know, I don't really listen to it. I was like, I need to do something cool because my wife's weird. So I came into my office here and started to categorize all my board games, movies, and video games on an Excel spreadsheet and create links to their IMDb pages and their Board Game Geek pages. And I'm really excited about it. And I spent a couple hours on it.
Which I
And
mean,
I'm just hoping this ends soon so I can go finish it.
yeah, you when you told me about it, I was like, that sounds amazing and I'd love to have it, but just the work of doing it, I'm like, wow. Wow.
It was awesome. I was listening to some Alanis Morissette, so I was like rocking out, you know?
I don't I don't know if that's quite the definition of that word, but
Wait,
yeah.
whoa. All right, comment below. Does Alanis Morissette rock? I mean,
I just
Justin's wrong.
no, so when you say I'm rocking out, that's not what I'm imagining, right? Like,
Well, I don't own a rocking chair, okay, old man?
I imagine I'm not your brother. Uh, I believe is 78 now, somewhere around there,
After his third hip replacement, I stopped counting. So,
right?
yeah.
I just can't believe he's still with us. Uh, all right. Anyway, we got some fantasy football stuff to talk about, and then when you get time, if you could like categorize our episodes and link them to our Wikipedia page.
Do we have a Wikipedia page?
I doubt it, but it'd be cool if we did.
I
Or
think
our
we can make
website.
one.
Or our website. That'd be cool too.
We do have a website.
Yeah, you guys should check that out. It's clock.management. No .com,
Yeah.
clock.management.
Yeah, Justin, speaking of the website, you've been putting in work not only on that, but you got another big project going on, right?
Yes, which I'm super excited about, right? We got our celebrity league that we're putting together with a friend of mine, Jay the Plug.
And
Cool
to be
dude.
clear, it's not a celebrity league because we're in it.
No, we are probably the least known person in this league, which
Hmm.
is pretty awesome.
Yeah, we got friends in high places apparently.
Yeah, so we got we got a bunch of like fantasy football people in here too. We got this dude Bogard, we got Andy Holloway from the Fantasy Footballers in it. We
Celebrity.
Yeah, probably one of the bigger name fantasy football personalities. We also have Hugh Jackson in this thing. We have from the former coach of the Browns. We have Darren Waller. Some people may know him as the elite tight end for the
Yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders, which I'm
Ugh.
still getting used to saying.
Yeah.
And then we also have this dude Young Cash and Cheo Nash from Nappy Boy Productions, which you may recognize as T-Pain's record label, which we also have in this league. And dang it, there goes. I've been
There
so
goes.
good.
There it goes. Oh my goodness, he just dropped one. And you know what, Justin? You were saying, hey, if we do a live show, are you sure you're not going to be able to swear?
I know I was mocking you Dang it. Dang it.
Yeah, I'm a good old boy. I categorize my video games at night, all right?
I know.
So,
Meanwhile, I'm
yes,
rocking
but
out
we
to
have
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
Yeah.
T-Pain.
And that's going to be
That's so
hard,
cool.
Perry, because all he does is win.
I know. But I'm going to make him take that song off of Spotify when we beat him.
Yeah, and if we lose, I will blame it on the alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
I'm going to make so many T-Pain references during this league.
Yeah, we got to think of a good T-Pain's reference for our name.
Yeah, if you guys can think of one, drop it in the comments. Also, if you drop it in the comments, that'll enter you to win an autographed jersey. I don't know which jersey it is yet because I haven't put up the poll, but I'll put up the poll this week.
That was a smooth transition, buddy.
Thank you.
You're becoming a professional at this.
I know, right?
I mean, look at you. You're dressed like a professional.
Right? And then
I got my comfy jacket on.
And then also, as part of this league, though, we're playing for charity. So every celebrity is choosing a celeb or a charity to play for, and the charity that we are playing for is the Green Beret Foundation. It's a great organization that helps special forces soldiers, like if they are killed in war or something like that. It takes care of their families, helps them with things. It provides scholarships for children of Green Berets, things like this. So it's just a great organization, and I got to meet with them. Great people.
Yeah, when Justin told me that part, I was more excited about that than the celebrity part.
Right.
And I know it sounds like I'm supposed to say that, but you can ask Justin.
Yeah,
that is literally what I said.
Honestly true. And
yeah, I'm pumped. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and they're super, like, just as an organization, just meeting with us and stuff. That was super cool of them. Like, that made me really happy to be supporting such a great organization.
It's awesome, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get us into some news that no one cares about, Perry.
Yeah,
cool. I gotta fix our graphics. I gotta get what I meant was I gotta get with our graphics department, which is also me, to fix our graphic for that. It hasn't been working the last couple episodes. But yeah, so news no one cares about. I'm gonna keep it a little bit short. We got a couple things though, which it's good to be back, man. The news no one cares about is flowing. Let me tell you,
no doubt. Also rocking. She rocks too.
First one, ex-quarterback has pro day and amazes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just fill in the blank there because it's almost every day that this is happening at this point. Like, this quarterback had a pro day and he amazed everyone. It's like, cool. That's what you're supposed to do when there's no defense.
It's also what you're supposed to do when the situation is set up by your school. It's the perfect scenario. You've practiced with these wide receivers for your entire college career, so you're throwing to those same guys. Like,
things could not be more perfect for you.
Pro days are way, way more ideal than even the combine.
Yeah.
So a lot of these numbers that are coming out during pro days you should just take those with a grain of salt. They're not going to be as good as they would have been, or they're better than they would have been during the NFL Combine. So just keep that in mind.
And I don't even like the Combine.
No, in the Combine.
None of it is impressive to me. Like, let me watch what you actually did in a game.
I think what the Combine does for me is it just gives me like a tiebreaker between players.
Yeah, on size hand, right? The size.
No.
Size. Yeah.
No, it's more about like 40 times. I don't put a lot of stock into who ran the fastest 40 time, but if I'm trying to decide between X running back and Y running back, and they're really close, but Y running back has a little bit faster 40 time, that might be good information for me. But honestly, it really comes down to game film. So and situation, right? Where do they land? That sort of stuff. So as soon as the draft is over, drop all the information you get from these pro days. None of it matters anymore.
Yeah,
I'm dead serious.
absolutely.
None of it matters.
Yeah,
So
I've already dropped some of it. It was out of my head already. I don't care.
right.
Also, but if a player looks, and just like the combine, if a player looks bad on his pro day, Mac Jones, then do not like take stock in that.
I think you mispronounced it. His name is Overthrow Jones.
Yeah. I did see a hilarious video of Kyle Shanahan watching him overthrow it, and then it's like a flashback to the Super Bowl of Jimmy G overthrowing the I forgot which receiver it was, but overthrowing one of their receivers in the Super Bowl.
Yep. I saw that too. It was funny.
Okay, next news no one cares about, keeping it 49er related. I guess I ended that 49er related. George Kittle tweeted out, excited for the next chapter. Thanks to the faithful for all the support, with a picture of him in a Jaguars jersey. Which then John Lynch tweeted out, just came out of this draft meeting. Not a funny April Fool's joke, George.
It's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I like that a lot.
I love that Lynch plays along with their stuff like this.
Right. You might as well.
Yeah, like right before they re-signed Juszczyk, he said the juice is definitely, tweeted out the juice was definitely worth the squeeze.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, last one. Aaron Rodgers announces his retirement so he can be a full-time host of Jeopardy. Also tweeted out on April 1st.
Yeah, I didn't believe a word that I read on Twitter on April 1st.
Yeah, he did host or he is hosting Jeopardy though, so that's I hope that he does take this up afterwards. I might watch Jeopardy.
That would be pretty cool. Aaron Rodgers is like a really, really intelligent guy.
Yeah, I believe you mean who is Aaron Rodgers?
No, who is a really, really intelligent guy?
Aaron Rodgers.
This quarterback is really, really. Wow, we're terrible at Jeopardy.
Yeah, I will never win Jeopardy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stick to fantasy football.
Nice.
All right.
What else?
Well, that's all the news no one cares about. Well, I mean, I guess kind of. This next one is actual news that we care about, but not so much for this person. It's everyone else involved, right? Andy Dalton is the Bears QB1 according to their Twitter account, at least, and he is, which is being roasted, by the way, for that tweet.
I think this is important news.
Yeah, but are you drafting Andy Dalton?
No, but
I said, it's important for the people around him, just not him specifically.
I think Andy Dalton could be. I mean, in 2 quarterback leagues, obviously he has to be involved. But I see a world where Andy Dalton has a solid year. He's nowhere near like top 12. Like,
but I think he has a good vantage point of the top 12.
Yeah, but
he can see them in the distance.
I think Andy Dalton could be the best quarterback that Allen Robinson has ever had.
That is so sad and true.
But true, right?
Ow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the most important thing to take away from this, though, is that this doesn't really affect Allen Robinson's value too much.
I think it almost increases it a little bit.
I don't know if it increases it. It might, but I think the important thing is that his ADP will most likely decrease because of it, so you'll probably get him at a discount.
Maybe. Yeah, that's actually probably true. I think that Allen Robinson with Andy Dalton, his touchdown potential increases. As wild as that sounds, that's how bad the quarterbacks have been for Allen Robinson.
Man, so don't get me excited about Andy Dalton, Perry.
Don't. Nobody be excited about Andy Dalton.
You've already set this train on course, Perry. There's no brakes on this thing. We're taking it all the way.
Yeah, Andy Dalton is coloring with colored pencils, and Mitch Trubisky was coloring with crayons.
Yeah.
All right.
Neither of these things are Mona Lisas.
Yeah.
Man, they really took that thing
Anyways,
full, all the way to the extent of the pun, I guess.
yeah. I mean, just thinking back to AJ Green with Andy Dalton, right? And I understand Andy Dalton isn't what he was 6 years ago, but he's something. He's certainly something. Yeah, and Mitch Trubisky is certainly terrible. I don't know if we covered the deal that Mitch Trubisky signed as a backup in Buffalo, but it's like it's no money. It's like zero money.
Yeah, which I was pretty shocked by. Like,
Right.
I think there's like I feel like there's teams that could have benefited from him being on them. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he's better than a lot of other backup quarterbacks.
You know, it's hard to say because he was on a team with such a strong defense. So they won games because the defense was so good. So it's like
he's never thrown a pick six.
I do know that.
Yeah, that's wild.
But yeah. Anyways,
yeah,
it's an upgrade.
His offense is really good at tackling.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
Okay. So next one, I think there's another downgraded player here, but it definitely impacts the team as a whole, right? So we got Kenny Golladay, the biggest. We're waiting for a bunch of these wide receivers to sign places. All of them stayed where they were except for Kenny Golladay. So we're going to talk. Yeah. So Kenny Golladay moved to, which I mean, cool for them. But come on, guys, I got content to make here. We need to talk about stuff. And if you just stay there, that's boring.
Right.
So, Kenny Golladay moves to the Giants. What do you think about this?
I mean, I think that it's a downgraded quarterback.
Yeah.
From Matthew Stafford, obviously, but it's kind of a unique situation because Matthew Stafford was gone. So it's like
it's going to be a downgrade if he stayed.
I think it might be a downgrade from Jared Goff, but I have Jared Goff pretty low at this point. But Jared Goff has also sustained 2 relevant wide receivers for most of his career. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird gray area.
I can't wait till Danny Dimes sustains one.
Right. My hope is that we get a few of these 5 touchdown games that Danny Dimes has pulled out in his career, and multiple of those touchdowns go to Kenny Golladay. I mean, they should, right? Yeah. I mean, Kenny Golladay should get a lot of targets in this offense. Like, he should.
I remember, I don't know how many times last season I had said, like, this wide receiver core is full of wide receiver 2s and 3s. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, a lot of good wide receiver 2s on that team. Yeah. And that's not a meme. That's actually true.
and now they have their wide receiver 1.
Right.
So that's exciting for me. I feel like, I definitely was in no way, shape, or form a Danny Dimes truther leading up to this. But I am higher on him than most people this season because I'm like, he has a good wide receiver there finally that can help him. And I think that if their offensive line continues to improve on what they did last year, that, this should all... I'm probably higher on Kenny Golladay than most people. Yeah.
I'm still not completely convinced that Kenny Golladay is like an elite wide receiver. He's been in the league 4 years. 2 of those years were pretty much write-offs, including last year. And I know injuries were a problem last year, only playing 5 games. Stafford, obviously, dealing with his stuff. But
no, I completely
2 seasons at 1,000 yards, just barely 1,000 yards. And I don't know. It's like, I think Kenny Galladay's good, but there's a world where Kenny Golladay is just another one of these number 2 wide receivers.
No, and you're absolutely right.
The only target in Detroit.
Yeah. You're absolutely right about that. I just think that I see him as better than the other options there, but you're absolutely right. It could actually play out that way.
I think that's probably true. I think he is probably the best option there, but it's just like a lot of people had him as the number 1 wide receiver free agent prospect. And for me, it was by far Allen Robinson. And
Allen Robinson.
Yeah, Allen
The
Robinson,
Bears ruined
he
that.
got wrapped up real quick with that franchise tag. So I think a lot of people forgot that,
Yeah.
he was
The
the
Bears
best.
had to, secure him so that way their QB1, Andy Dalton, had a target, an elite
Right,
wide receiver to put up
right,
some elite numbers.
right. Yeah, I really want it to work out for Kenny Golladay. I mean, this kind of, I've said it before, I like seeing good players do good things on the field. I love watching that. That's why I like fantasy football. So
You know
I
what
want
else,
that to
though?
work out.
I like watching that, but even more than that, I like to watch really bad players do really bad things on the field too. It's entertaining, but I need both.
Well, Danny Dimes is there and Kenny Golladay's there. So
Yeah, that's it's a match made in heaven, man.
yeah, I think it's really funny because going into last season, I was kind of high on Daniel Jones. Not like, oh,
I know
he's going to be
we've
amazing.
completely switched seats on this.
Right, we have flip-flopped completely.
Yeah, musical
I'm-
chairs.
I think what this
Oh.
comes down to is the Giants have surrounded Daniel Jones with talent, and it's time for Daniel Jones to perform.
Yeah,
I don't believe he will, and I
I'm
believe
more on
that
the other side.
there's a world where he is not the starting quarterback at the end of the season.
Yeah, I am not on board with that. Just to be clear, I am, because I'm leaning the other way that he will be a top 12 quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think this, so I'm just gonna lead this straight into the next one, right, Perry? The next thing
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about, because
Right, let's do that.
yeah, I had tweeted out, obviously coming from me and not Perry, because it was that Saquon would be the RB1,
Mhm.
and Derrick Henry I have way back as my RB9.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Saquon first.
Yeah, because we're talking about the Giants already.
Right.
So yeah, and it, like I was saying,
Sweet.
it's due to me believing in Danny Dimes, and Saquon's a pass catching running back as well as everything else. He's just amazing. I'm not concerned with the injury. I'm just going to throw that out the window right now. I think he'll be back. He's like top 0.1% athlete. I expect him to come back 100% healed. And I know people are going to bring that up. I don't care. No one is bringing that up with Christian McCaffrey, who everyone else has at their number one. So I'm just removing that from the argument.
I think the main reason that people aren't bringing that up with CMC is Saquon's was like a catastrophic injury, where CMC was like this weird nagging thing.
Yeah,
I
reoccurring.
agree with you. I agree with you that like we can't just ignore the fact that CMC missed most of last season, and people are willing to do that. But if I had to choose a type of injury for my star running back to get, it would be CMC's injury, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely.
go on.
You're a horrible person for choosing an injury for your running back, Barry. I just want to throw that out there.
I'm a problem.
But no, and then my thing too is like I think that I just believe in that team a lot more than I do the Panthers. I think that their offensive line at the end of the season was looking decent. It was looking like they were trending in the right direction. Their defense was amazing, which always is beneficial for a running back if your defense is helping the other team or helping keep the other team from putting up a bunch of points. And then I think that he's just a freak. Obviously, me and Perry were talking about this a couple days ago, and there's a couple running backs that can finish as the RB1. They're probably I gotta look at these, which ones, but I want to say like 5 or 6.
I've got 4.
Okay.
4, and just real quick: CMC, Saquon, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I mean,
that's who I've got.
Derrick Henry. It's
Derrick
possible.
Henry. Well, we'll talk about Derrick Henry in a minute.
Which I mean, I obviously don't think he's going to, because I have a much lower.
Right. I guess so. I don't have an issue with Saquon. Just to be clear, I don't dislike Saquon Barkley. If I landed at the number 2 pick and Saquon was there, I would take Saquon. So let's just get that right out in front.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the difference between the number 1 and number 2 pick, like, is people want to make it look like, oh, you hate this guy if you don't have him at 1. And that's not it. That's not it.
Yeah. I think that the Panthers will have a better offense than the Giants. I flat out think that. I think they'll have a worse defense than the Giants. So I normally having a good defense will benefit a running back, but because CMC is such a pass catching guy, like that's his game, period. That's awesome for him. He's going to get peppered with targets. For me, I just don't see a world where Saquon beats CMC if they both play 17 games. 17 game season now, buddy.
Yeah, but that's 16 fantasy games.
Correct.
Yeah, we're not 16 playing. Yeah, we're not playing week 17.
You had me. I was like, wait, no, it's 17, you idiot. No. And then, I think the Giants are going to be a little gun shy on Saquon. Like, there is a world where Saquon gets injured again. He got injured in 2019. He missed 3 games, and then obviously the huge injury last season. And yes, Christian McCaffrey got injured last season, but it wasn't like this big catastrophic injury. I think that needs to be thought of. Like, that needs to be mentioned. We can't just say that their category of injury was the same. Yeah. I think CMC was this nagging thing. They were playing for nothing. Like, let's be real here. They weren't going to win anything. They didn't need him back. I think if the Panthers were playoff contenders, CMC, he probably comes back and plays in a few games. But
yeah.
But again, this is like literally
he rushes back and re-injures it again, right. Because he already did that once this season.
Right. We're splitting hairs here, but honestly, like I said, Saquon is the RB2 on my draft board. That just basically, that doesn't mean I don't want him, right? It just means, hey, if I have the number 1 pick, I'm taking CMC. But I'll be happy to.
I love that you have him at number 2 though, because like I even when I had him at 2 at first, and a lot of people don't agree with that.
I try to do my rankings without being too concerned about injury, right? I think that you can run into problems and miss out on some really good value that way.
Dalvin Cook.
I don't think I think the only person that comes close would be Alvin Kamara if I know that Jameis Winston is the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
It's the pass catching, right? I think there are 3 running backs that will come close to like 90 receptions or get over 90 receptions, and it's CMC, Saquon, and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah. So, and with Alvin Kamara, where I have him ranked like in between where I would have him ranked if Jameis or Hill is is the quarterback right now until I know. Right. Also, an interesting thing, I was doing a bunch of research on the 2 quarterbacks there. And something I realized while I was looking through this with what's his name, Taysom Hill, he has a longer average depth of target than Jameis Winston does, but the reasoning why is kind of interesting because as Jameis Winston does throw the ball down the field a lot more than Taysom Hill, he also checks it down to his running backs a lot more than Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is very much so in that intermediate throw area. Which raises his average depth of target further than Jameis Winston's without using the running backs.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, everybody, you want Jameis Winston to be the starter for fantasy purposes.
Yeah.
Like flat out for everyone involved. There's just no doubt about it.
I also want Taysom Hill to, because it'll be like to watch the games. I don't want any of their fantasy players at that point, but I just want to see how it turns out, like it's entertaining.
Yeah. I just don't want to thin the pool of fantasy options, but anyways, let's talk about, Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Let's talk about Derrick Henry real quick. So my issue with Derrick Henry, why I have him low is, they've been super efficient just in every aspect of their game. And I don't expect it to continue. I think losing Corey Davis will hurt them, which I guess not every wide receiver signed back to where they were. But I don't have a lot of faith in like Adam Humphries or Cameron Batson to do what Corey Davis did last year. So I just think there's going to be less points to have on the offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we kind of discussed this, so I feel like we're rehashing things, but I realize that nobody's heard us talk about it. But I expect the Titans to go get a wide receiver in the draft, and I know you said like if that happens that you'll rethink this.
Yeah,
but I expect that to happen, right? I think they need to. It needs
I
to
agree
happen.
they need to, but I mean there are teams quite often that surprise us by not doing what they need to.
Right. I think what you and I were kind of like couldn't come together on is it wasn't that, oh, I think Derrick Henry's like a top 4. I don't have Derrick Henry at top 4. I just don't have him at 9. There were a couple of guys that you and I were discussing whether or not he should be ahead of. One of them being Nick Chubb. I personally cannot put Nick Chubb ahead of Derrick Henry, not because Derrick Henry is necessarily better.
It's because you hate Nick
better
Chubb.
player. It's what's that?
It's because you hate Nick Chubb.
No, I like Nick Chubb. I'm a huge Nick Chubb.
No, I know you are. That's why.
Yeah. It's just because with Kareem Hunt there's a cap on Nick Chubb.
No,
there is.
And I agree with you on that fact. I just think that he can still outproduce it because I think that the Stefanski is going to just I mean I probably like Hunt more than a lot of people as well. I think both those guys are going to feast. Baker will benefit as a player from it, but I don't think their passing game is going to be isn't going to be amazing people.
So looking at 2020, Nick Chubb had, and I know he only played 12 games, so I'll keep that in mind, of course. But Nick Chubb had 190 attempts. In 2019, he had 298. So I think, and that was in 2019, Kareem Hunt missed, 8 games, I think, right? So Nick Chubb was the lead back for half the season. So you got to think it's somewhere in between that 190, 298. I'm guessing right around 260 touches if he plays a full season. Derrick Henry last season had 378 touches.
But how many catches did Derrick Henry have?
Derrick Henry had 19 receptions.
Which he did have. He had more than Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb had 16, but Nick Chubb only played 12 games.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb had 36 in 2019, again being the only back for half that season. So I think Nick Chubb probably right around 20, 25 receptions, I think 25. Is reasonable. Yeah. So it's just, my point is that Nick Chubb will literally have to have one of the most efficient seasons in order to beat that. And I understand that Derrick Henry isn't going to rush for 2,000 yards every season.
Yeah, it's because I also have Derrick Henry being lower than that number this year.
On touches?
Yes.
Yeah. And we talked about that as well. And now I'm trying to remember his backup's name. Darrington Evans? Yeah. Darrington Evans is not even a topic of discussion in terms of Kareem Hunt.
No, not at all. But also he will get more than I forgot. I looked it up, but I want to say the 10 touches he had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I think bottom line, you and I mean, I've got Nick Chubb lower.
We are going to have a duel.
Right. We're going to have a duel. This. But I wanted to talk about Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry. I think that comes a little bit closer.
Yeah, I actually have Jonathan Taylor ahead of Derrick Henry. So, yeah.
For me, that's where it becomes really hard to decide. Really hard to decide. I worry that people are really fixated on the end of the season for Jonathan Taylor, where he, especially that 250-yard game. But I mean, the last 5 games of the season were really, really good and completely different than the rest of the season for him. So those last 5 games really carried everything for Jonathan Taylor in a full PPR league. This is standard. Let me pull up half point PPR here. In a half point PPR league, he finished with 21, 29, 17, 19, and 37 fantasy points. That's incredible. It's an incredible pace, but it's also an unrealistic pace when it comes to sustainability. them re-signing Marlon Mack did no favors for Jonathan Taylor.
That is accurate.
And Naheem Hines is still there. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's an incredible running back. Really, really talented guy. The best running back to come out of that class, no doubt about it. But they have Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack knows the system. They like Marlon Mack. They brought him back. He will get touches. There's just no doubt about that. And Naheem Hines is really good.
Yeah, he'll get catches.
What's that?
Naheem Hines will get receptions.
Absolutely. Let's see. I think he had
you might be talking me out of Jonathan Taylor right now ahead of Derrick Henry.
Jonathan Taylor had 36 receptions last season.
I am legitimately thinking about how far back I'm going to drop Jonathan Taylor right now. He will be behind. I know for a fact right now, just thinking about this, he's going to be behind Kareem Hunt, or not Kareem Hunt. Behind Nick Chubb. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy that said Jonathan Taylor will be bad. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to rein everybody back a little bit. Right? Jonathan Taylor is a very good player, and I think he'll have a very good career, but Jonathan Taylor is not a top 4 running back. And a lot of people are looking at him as a top 4 option.
Yeah, I want to say I had him at 7, but he's probably going to be closer to the 10 range by the.
He's currently ranked ahead of Aaron Jones, and I don't see how there's a world where
that's crazy. I have Aaron Jones ahead of him.
Yeah, Aaron Jones staying with the Packers was literally the best fantasy option for Aaron Jones. Jamal Williams leaving was the second best fantasy thing for Aaron Jones. The situation only got better for Aaron Jones. AJ Dillon is not going to go out there and steal Aaron Jones's a ton of Aaron Jones's work. With Jamal Williams gone, Aaron Jones is the best pass catching back on that team.
Yeah,
probably the best running back.
Yeah. Oh no, he is. He's both of those. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean AJ Dillon looks like a very good prospect, but
yeah, he's still up and coming as Aaron Jones is in his prime.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is I mentioned 4 guys that could end up as the number 1 back. Aaron Jones is the one I didn't mention. The only guy that I didn't mention that I see able to propel himself as that number 1 guy. So Aaron Jones definitely ahead of Jonathan Taylor. Nick Chubb, there's definitely an argument. Probably should be ahead of Jonathan Taylor. Derrick Henry ahead of Jonathan Taylor. And then I think Zeke should probably be ahead of Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, yeah,
so that puts,
Zeke. Yeah,
for me, Jonathan Taylor down to 9.
Yeah, Zeke is another one that I believe could finish as the RB1.
Right.
All right, we got one more thing to talk about, Perry. We got the 49ers draft pick, right?
Again?
Yeah, right? This is just our 49er episode, as will every episode from here on out, Perry. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. You do most of the work, so we'll talk about what you want.
So the 49ers trade up to the 3rd overall pick. Everyone knows this. Everyone's talking about it. What are they going to do? Who are they going after? It's obvious they're going after a quarterback. We were talking a little bit before this. I tend to think they're going after Justin Fields. And like I was telling you, I don't know if this is just wishful thinking from my part, and I'm trying to find reasoning to back up my my wishful thinking. But Kyle Shanahan is part of an organization called the QB Collective that helps college quarterbacks transition to the NFL. So he has been working out with Justin Fields exclusively for several months, which I was bringing up when everyone was freaking out that Kyle Shanahan was not attending Justin Fields' pro day. He's already seen Justin Fields' pro day a couple dozen times.
Yeah, I want them to take Justin Fields. I think that's the right choice. I'm worried that they go with Mac, though.
Yeah,
they go with Mac Jones.
I am very concerned about this, to be clear. I do not want that to happen.
Yeah, I think I would take Trey Lance ahead of Mac Jones.
Yes.
I would take Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance all ahead of Mac Jones.
I was hoping the 49ers would get Mac Jones before they traded. So Don't
Right.
trade up to get someone that would have fallen to you. That's my thing.
Right.
Is like that. That's why I'm hoping that's kind of in my head how I'm reasoning this. I'm like, no, they're not getting Mac Jones because they wouldn't have traded up to 3 if they were getting him. Maybe to a different spot. Maybe they trade up some to secure it. But I feel
Yeah.
like 3 is too high to trade up if you want him.
Yeah. I mean,
I
what
hope.
they gave up and then they draft Mac Jones, the 49ers are going to look like fools. I mean, if
For
that
years.
happens.
Yeah. Be like being the Bears or something.
I mean, it would be, in my opinion, one of the worst like draft trades of all time. Like that's really bad.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins, I just want to say,
Man.
while we're talking about this trade, the Dolphins are geniuses at trading around draft picks. Those guys are really,
Yeah.
really good at this.
Right?
Really good. Yeah. And then I just wanted to mention, Trevor Lawrence is 6'6".
Yeah.
That's really tall. Like, he might be pretty good.
Yes. Yes. He's going to be very good. This is like one of the best quarterback classes we've seen in like decades.
Yeah. I have a weird feeling, and I have no statistics or anything to reference here. So I'm just going to say, I have a weird feeling that Zach Wilson might be really terrible.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that the Jets are going
just
to
a
be
gut
severely
feeling.
disappointed.
Yeah. I like him. I would love to have him on the 49ers, but I'd rather have Fields.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. I don't condone violence in any way. Okay? I'm saying this. No violence. I will never do it, and I don't want anybody to do it. But he has a punchable face.
I don't know if you watch.
I've never punched anybody in the face, except maybe my brother at some point.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I'm like, I don't think you've ever punched me. I mean, I grew up with you too.
You deserved it a few times.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely. But have you seen the new Captain or it's Falcon and Winter Soldier?
That's a punchable face.
Yeah, the new Captain America.
Yeah,
he has a punchable face.
Yeah. I have not seen the latest episode. Kinsey, I got to watch that.
Yeah, I won't ruin anything for you or anyone else.
I will say we're off topic, but I like Falcon and Winter Soldier more than WandaVision. Although I think WandaVision finished real strong. But so far, I really like
the beginning of it.
Soldier.
I really like how WandaVision was out. It's like the comic book nerd in me. Like a lot of the.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again. I'm not just like disparaging.
Well, I know most people hated the beginning of it, and I actually really liked it. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I mean, obviously, I didn't know.
Nerding out.
I didn't have any context like you did, so like I walked into that and I was like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how most people were.
Yeah, but it ended strong, really strong.
I did want to go back though to the beginning of the show because I did forget to mention where people. So we're raising money for this charity, right? I did not tell anyone where they can go donate if they wanted to. Completely up to you guys, and I'm not going. Well, obviously, I can't make you. But if you guys want to donate to these causes, we have. If you look for Pace League on SpotFund.com, go just type in Pace League, it'll pop up. You'll see our logo on it. You know it's us, so just click on there. You can donate. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description, so yeah, you guys can find it. Just click the link in the description if you want to throw some money in there. If you put $1 in there, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't benefit us at all. This is all going to charity. Justin and I will both be donating our own money. Like, this is really important to us. All the charities that are being chosen are really good causes.
Yeah.
So $1 is plenty. Anything you guys can donate, it's really, really, really appreciated. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of really great content that comes out of this league. So,
oh yeah, there's already a pretty awesome video between Andy Holloway and Coach Hugh Jackson going back and forth.
I love it.
And
I love it. That's a rivalry I never knew that I needed.
Perry, I've started a rivalry that
With
you
T-Pain?
didn't. Yes. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
saw.
so that'll be coming out. We got some video content coming here shortly.
If I get a trash talk video about me from T-Pain, my life's complete. I'm retiring, and I just will just hang out and categorize my video games.
You're already doing that, Perry.
Dude, I must be living the good life then. Things are going well.
All right, we'll call it a day on that or on that note, Perry.